We are close friends for a long time ago now with YellowScan. So my presentation is going to be quite different than the others. I'm going to try to highlight first our story because it's a human story, and I think it is interesting to highlight what we have gone through. And also I'm going to try to highlight our business model because I think this is something interesting to share with you. Maybe you could duplicate because you're coming from many other countries, so it will be interesting. And of course, if this presentation allows you to avoid the mistake that we've been making in the past, that would be perfect. So this is exactly what I'm going to try to do this morning. And first, I would like to start the presentation by highlighting the fact that, yeah, Instadrone is pretty much a human story. You're going to see it on the presentation, on the few pictures that are going to go through. Sorry, don't want to wake up all the crowd. But yeah, it's really true that Instadrone is a human adventure. Basically, it all started, let's say, almost 10 years ago with Cédric. Cédric is the CEO, the former CEO of Instadrone. He was a former military working for the French police, the gendarmerie, for 20 years. And he had the chance to perform missions with helicopters at the beginning, only for military matters. And of course, on the way back from the mission, he had the opportunity to take pictures of his own house, and it gives him the idea to duplicate this kind of missions and to propose it to the neighbors, to the cities, to the, let's say, the various places around there. And yeah, pretty much it all started like that. It all started as the idea to duplicate what we could do with an helicopter with drones. So at the very beginning, he accumulates the two jobs because it was more or less a hobby. It was more a hobby than a real job, to be fair. But when the drones and the market started to become a professional thing, yeah, it was becoming interesting. So once that, it tried to perform his first professional mission, let's say, also with YellowScan hardware. So he was performing surveying mission, inspection mission, telecom mission, and all that. And he was facing a major issue. How can you do a LiDAR survey at Marseille on Monday and being at Lille the next day? It's almost impossible, to be fair. And you're pretty tired, you do bad stuff, so no. He was facing this major issue. So how could you mitigate that? He tried to find friends, local relays, basically. And for these local relays, of course, he had some friends from former military also. This is really interesting to use his own friends to do that. So yeah, he was training his own friend and created a brand license. A brand license basically is a franchise, some kind of franchise. So he created this franchise. It was back in 2016, I think so. And from now, it pretty much changed the whole thing because just to give you some quick numbers, now we have 40 agencies all over the globe, globally. We have 25 employees and we are making 5 million of turnover. So I think this is a pretty interesting and maybe efficient business model. So this is what I'm gonna, let's focus on, let's say. Let me drop my cellular here. About the business model. How does it function? What's the general purpose of the network? The network is based on a few things. First, you have the brand license. When you go in the network, there's one thing that we need to be aware of is that we want to ensure our client that they will have the same level of quality from Lille to Marseille, from Nantes to Metz, and all that. So once you go into the network, you basically have a week of training, a week or two. We purchase the hardware for the people that go into the network, and we also ensure by having let's say, annually training that, yeah, they can perform the same level and the same intensive kind of mission. So this is what you see here on the picture. We called it the Insta Days, and of course, you're all invited if you want to join, even if you are from several countries. So yeah, the network thing is really interesting and important. So this is the first part that you need to consider while thinking about the business model, having the ability to have some local relays. But also, one important thing is the headquarters team. The headquarters team, there are two things. There's, let's say, the all the support services, you have the accountancy, you have the human resources, but there's also all the technical matters, because this is really crucial, thinking about the business model. You don't want to afraid the competitors. You don't want to afraid your partners. You really have to be aware of what they are afraid of. They are afraid about you, let's say, gathering the business on your side and only, let's say, robbing the clients, the final clients. So no, Instadrone decided to, let's say, only focus on the intermediate data. Let me explain. When we do some LiDAR survey, we have the ability to, let's say, drop the data as it is to the final client, or we can pre-process the data. And once we pre-process the data, I think we add really the value. And this is really the value that we add on our side, and we are used to do that, so we are efficient. And the final customer, our partner, are only focusing on the expertise. So this is really interesting, because let's make a comparison. If a cook is focusing on how to catch a fish and then cook it, no, it's not efficient. Of course, you want to focus on your expertise and how to, let's say, cook the best fish. So yeah, definitely this is the purpose of our business, having the ability to pre-process the data and share it to the final customer in order to be super efficient. So yeah, pretty much this is what I can try to highlight with the business model, Instadrone business model. Also, what I can try to explain is also the challenges, because it's maybe what you want to what you want me to explain. Because yeah, the principle is might be easy, but when you are, let's say, managing a few missions on a daily basis, and when I'm speaking about a few, I'm speaking about 7,000 a year. So this is a large amount of them. So you have to face some struggles, of course. First challenges, of course, is the ability to manage a decentralized team. What is a decentralized team? Is people having different life, different lifestyle, different objectives in life. So you have to try to align them to your vision. So this is the first challenge that you have to overcome. So having the ability, as I told, to get the initial training, get the same hardware in order to have exactly the same in the network is really interesting. Oh yeah, here's Lana. Is the project that we've been sponsoring for the LiDAR use. Also, being able to follow the technology is really important and crucial, because, yeah, you don't want to, of course, miss something that is really interesting, that the clients are going to request, and you're late into the process, and then you're becoming bad at it, and the competitors are better than you, and then you miss the market. No. But you don't want to be in advance of that, because if you are, I think, over-anticipating the business, something can occur, and this is maybe something that could be even more bad than the other, than being late, is being over in advance. Because once you do that, you have to educate the clients. You have to be in front of the process. You have to, let's say, lose some money, of course, in the end. So this is not something that you want to overcome. So you want to be exactly in the right timing for every new technology and new businesses. Also, the regulation. I don't know about your local regulation, guys, but for the French regulation is really, let's say, how can I describe it? We have been, I think, one of the first countries to have a drone regulation that was super efficient. So this is pretty nice news. But when it comes to the evolution of the regulation, it's not easy. And now we are facing a major shift. In the European countries, we have the European regulation. So this is also once considering that you have a whole network to involve into this shift. This is really crucial. So this is, as I told, one of the challenges that you have to overcome on a daily basis. So this is not as easy as it's supposed to be. But you can focus on different things in order to make it a strength. Sorry, this is quite tough to say. Make it a strength. I think in order to be different than the other competitors, you maybe can try to get the certification, get into the certification process. One of the certifications you can focus on are the quality certifications, such as, just to give you an example, at Instadrone we are certified by Bureau Veritas for the georeferencing, just to give you a quick shout out. But this is, I think, the process that you need to be into if you want to be different than the competitors, because now you see the technology is becoming more easy to use. Maybe you're going to face some clients and some other drone networks that are going to be exactly in the same mood as you. So if you want to be different, let's focus on the quality process. And also, one of the things that you need to be aware of is that, yeah, of course, the technology is evolving on a daily basis. So having the ability to invest is also crucial. So just to give you an example, on our side, we have financial partner. We have free into our company at the height of 30%. So it gives us the ability to invest. And just to give you an example, we've been investing on the latest LiDAR for drone, which was the Explorer. I think we were one of the first in France, so this is something interesting. And yeah, having the ability to invest is really crucial on a market that is evolving as fast as the drone market. And this is pretty much all I could share about the business model. The principle, the stacks, and also the challenges and the strengths that you need to be aware of if you want to perform on that. Even if you are creating your own in-house drone team, if you are a company, a factory, and all that, you need to be aware of that, because this is exactly the same challenges that you're going to face. And regarding the perspective, I think this is also interesting to share, because I'm only focusing on the local perspective, but you can definitely have your own, and this would be interesting to discuss it after the presentation, of course. But at the moment, for the French market, and let's say most largely for the European market, it would be interesting for us. I think we have three ways for the perspectives. First is the training. We all know it, as YellowScan is doing some great stuff. They are creating some different hardware, the most easy to use every day. DJI, all the drone manufacturers are making some hardware easy to use. So in-house drone team, drone network, they are going to evolve, and you're going to see more of them in the future years. So being able not to face them, but let's say train them, could be a shift in order to jump from being only a drone network and now becoming the reference for training. So I think this is also one of the perspectives that we see. Being able to also gather and share the data for AI processing partner and platform is also one of the perspectives that we see, because for surveying, you have seen it lately, there's some evolution about that. For pre-processing or full automated processes, planning or something like that, you're going to see it in the future years. So being able to, let's say, take the train and not miss it is interesting. And also one of the last perspectives I could share is the sector. If you want to only focus on the local business, you may be missing something. Going global could be interesting. Some of the markets are structuring at the moment. I think the French market is a good example. 6 years ago, so many people were into the drone market. Now the companies are dropping day by day. So this is interesting to be aware of that. And this is pretty much all I could share. This, as I told, my presentation was quite different than the others. I was only focusing on the services and not the use, not on the research project. So yeah, I hope that it would give you some ideas, and of course you will avoid some issues. Thank you guys.